Hello everyone, welcome to a best of 3 between Dark and Patches here. Alright, ready? Just gonna wait for the players to be ready. Yeah, okay. So it looks like we're going to have a Chiron versus Genetron. Dark is more experienced with the custom races, however Patches is 2 leagues above Vengeance or Dark. I'm going to call him Vengeance, I think. Though he's actually more commonly known as Sentence X. I don't know. I'll call him Vengeance. So Vengeance is a little more experienced with the races, as far as I know, and Patches, though he's a high level, so he's in Masters 3, whereas Vengeance is only Diamond 1. But spawning here in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales LE, playing with the yellow Chiron converters, it is Vengeance. Tossing out a GLHF, is Patches. No such luck or fun here from Vengeance, but Patches, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Dragon Scales LE, playing with the green Genetron ACRs, it is Patches. Pretty standard. He's going to go for manufacturer as well. Fortunately, nodes cannot lift up and burrow themselves under the ground, so he's not going to be able to finish the wall there with a node. However, repulsors and the interdictors are able to do that, so I've seen players finish their wall with one of those defensive structures. So he's going to go for a scout, looking very much like a Terran opener so far. But honestly, I think you should play more of like a Protoss style when you play with the Genetron, especially the 17 Nexus is what I like to kind of copy. Obviously there would be a Genetron version, like 17 core, then you immediately start your filtering plant, and then by the time that this enables you to switch into a better performance mode, you switch to the blue one. I think it's standard. I'm going to have to check that again. And then immediately start a blitzer as well as a relay tower. You barely have enough gas for that. Oh, a node block going down on the natural here of Vengeance, as a conduit is coming up as well as a sanctum. This is quite a fast sanctum, and as well as a foundry. It's practically a one base all in so far looking here from Vengeance, though he might still want to expand. But quickly followed up with pressure. Some pressure is what it looks like he's probably going to do. Scouting ACR returning home. They didn't confirm that there's going to be a Citadel or not. In fact, Citadel still hasn't started. There you go, Citadel starts here. As the Foundry is just about to finish up. He's got a bunch of charges in the bank. Does Vengeance, is he going to use them aggressively? Yeah, here's a repulsor finishing the wall here for Patches. Analysis terminal, obviously, though, is needed for that, which is 150 minerals, which is not going to really be able to be used too much. It's essentially a 300 mineral wall off here with this analysis terminal plus repulsor. These aren't super useful yet because upgrades cost a lot more in the early game than they do later on when you have a bit more money. Echo coming here for a scout as well as a converter. I'm gonna put an Oculus here to put some vision, I assume, on the main base. Though if you're scouting with the Echo, if the Echo's already here, you've already seen everything with Vengeance, so I don't think it's the greatest idea to then also go for the Oculus. Oh, I forgot what that upgrade's called. Even attack speed, even build speed, actually. It's really annoying. I actually forgot what the upgrade's called. Dissonance Projector. Oh my, he's using the Diva now. So. Dissonance projector though is completed, so this echo's now going to be cloaked. It's going to need to start an interdictor there, but with that, with the build speed actually slowing down as well, it's going to make that interdictor take quite a long time to complete. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, that's right. It doesn't affect attack speed, but it affects production speed. Build speed. But this found and does go down. Is this intentional? No. Just a misclick on the rocks. Back at home we do have an Umbra and a couple of Pulsars here for Vengeance. It's going to have a bit of anti-light as well as anti-armor damage, but none of them shoot up. This is a very bold move out here from Patches. There's no calibrated engines upgrades, so you're not going to be able to retreat very easily. 2 Umbra do move out. I just saw that. I probably didn't. Okay, it's going to go move toward the third. I like the idea. I like the play not moving up this ramp into a couple pulsars. Obviously, he doesn't know the pulsars are there, but it would be very foolish to assume that nothing is going to be here. These Umbra's just hanging out here for now. He's not going to send them in just yet. There's some detection in the form of these interdictors. However, no processor. Actually, there's a processor being made now, so that could provide for some more aggressive and mobile detection. Spitfires here, I think. Yeah, they just killed the little converter that was sent out. 2 Atriums coming up here. 4 Vengeance. The Echo's sent back home. Could honestly just keep that around here. Delay all this production. It's going to force them to use a little detector ability. I don't know what they call that. What was this one called? Stealth Compulsion. Yeah, I don't remember too many of the upgrades yet. I'm not familiar enough with the races. Spitfires do go down with no calibrated engines. That upgrade is now coming up. And these Umbras are getting up to work because 5 workers for 2 Umbra. I don't think that's quite worth it. Of course, these Spitfires have a lot of DPS even without any upgrades. Speaking of upgrades, we do have +1 light vehicle weapons here for Patches. 3 Atriums actually. My bad. We have 3 Atriums. That is an incredible amount. It's going to be going for a lot of... Where is the Myriad? There's the Myriad. A lot of Myriads, I think. Though you could probably, with 3 Atriums, you'd be able to get both Myriads and Inducers. Inducers, of course, very nice at range, and not too bad up close either, with the... as their DPS is actually determined by the range at which they're shooting at, of course. They're very nice single target damage though, as well as bonus to massive, which processing cores are. But, okay, I was going to say, you only need 1, they do not stack. Nice placement here of these slow fields. Myriad does come up, it's going to be able to do a lot of damage to these Spitfires. They gets in range, the Spitfires are able to simply target it down. But before 2 go down though, the entire rest of the army though is in the middle line, decimating 19 workers. Torrent's going to go down. This is a lot of big pulsar energy that we're seeing here from Vengeance. 23 workers going down. That Fixer also dies. Of course, these also provide detection while they're in this mode. So, not going to be able to repair this. Fixer running away. Doesn't manage to escape there. I think that cloak might have already used the cloak charge. Processor is here. He's going to put an analyze weakness, and these pulsars aren't actually target firing down these workers. 2 pulsars go down unnecessarily there, and all that's left is a Volt who's going to run away with his measly little life. 3 Myriads halfway across the map are also going to be sent back home. 27 workers have gone down, and our current player is now on 4 base. This is not looking very good. Well, actually, Patches is on 4 bases as well. If he cuts unit production, yeah, he's got full energy on his processing cores as well. If he cuts unit production, transfers these workers down to the natural, and just makes a lot of workers, he could bounce back into this game as long as he's not attacked. Though Vengeance perhaps looking to attack already, as he does have a decent worker count at 61 and 5 myriads and a whole bunch of vaults. Well, it's 2 echoes. Those echoes really proving their worth this game. The Spitfire run by might force him to come back home. I like this move actually out of patches. Yeah, workers have finally been transferred down to the natural. Is he going to come back home to defend this run back, or is he going to continue? 22 workers have gone down. He's running into the natural though, myriad and a handful of vaults getting walked in, shaped in actually. As the army does attack across the map, he is going to have to send his run by home if he wants to have a chance at defending this. But oh no, the Elytron getting on top of these workers, 12, 13 going down. The current player is only at 36 workers himself, so I don't think he's going to be able to clean up his push. These, especially if these aren't going to come home. If these come home, while these Elytron attacking on this side, then they could target 5 myriads down potentially, but it's too late for that. Army here inside the main base is gone. Runway finally sent back home, but it's not looking good. Yeah, GG gets called and Vengeance wins game number 1. Of course, that's now going to enable Patches to choose his standard race if he wants, and he is Masters 3. He's going to be able to pick his standard race in this second game. I'm just going to ask him now. What does he want? Okay, so we are going to have Terran versus Chiron in game number 2. Actually, wait. To complete that game. Well, okay. Okay, game number 2 is going to be on Royal Blood. It's going to be a Terran versus Chiron this time. Patches is Masters 3 with his Terran, so he definitely very well could win this. Though myriads can be quite tricky if you don't know how to deal with. You definitely do need to rush out ghosts faster in this matchup than I think you do in Terran in TVP or TVZ. I'd get them as soon as you have your third base done. Get ghosts, because the EMP is so necessary to have against myriads. If you don't have EMP against myriads, you basically lost the game. It's like trying to fight Terran Bio, you know, Terran Ghost Marine Marauder without any, you know, Colossus or any splash at all. You know, like with Archons or something. You know, you can't fight Ghost Marine Marauder with Archons at all. So EMP. Well, Edifice going down was a gas first, actually. Interesting. Maybe looking to go into a quick factory, or he could just want the, I don't know. He's probably looking to go to a quick factory. Unless maybe it's a 2 racks. Which is actually something. He could actually be doing 2 racks as well. Though, not super familiar with gas first openings other than a fast factory and 2 racks. Maybe you can go for a reactor first into double Reaper. I'm not sure. Big block. Oh dear, a little late for the NGB block, I guess. Very hard to NGB block if you don't know the timing at which their base is going to go down. The vault is shaped in, though. Oops, I rallied in the wrong direction. SV is going to be able to go back home. Yeah, it is going to be a quick factory after all, as well as a reactor after a Marine first opening. Marine is going to be able to scout around, but you know, proxying as Chiron is not really something you can do, because in order to make units on the other side of the map, you need a citadel there. And he's seen the citadel over here, so there's not going to be a citadel over here, you know? Factory's finished. It's going to go for Hellions, maybe. Interesting. Starport as well. Yeah, he's going to go for Hellions. Interesting. Maybe it's going to be a Hellion drop, or potentially just... Okay, Conduit coming up as well as a Sanctum. Just a Hellion run by. I think a Hellion run by could be quite strong. But there's no bunker here. I do think you need a bunker. Actually, the Hellion's about to finish up anyway as these Volts make their way across the map. They're going to be able to defeat this Marine, however, with the Hellions coming, I think these Volts are completely dead. There's nothing here except a bit of HP. Nice little micro there by Patches. Starport nearly finished up. Of course, Patches named after the Carbot Marine. Patches with the little patch ripped out of his Marine pants. Fat Marine over there, and Patches spinning as a decal. Must be a bit of a Carbot fan. Tech, I'm going to go down on this barracks, as well as mines and a medevac coming up here. Just going to go for a Hellion run by with a mine drop follow up by the looks of it. Very nice. Nice wall here by Vengeance with the Reliquary and the Edifice. The Pulsar here is not going to be able to let these Hellions through, I think. Anti-light damage. It does have less range. These Hellions could kite this Pulsar to death, actually. I wonder how the splash reduction actually works on the Pulsar and the Hellions. If you don't know, Pulsars do have a researchable ability, see it there, which reduces incoming splash and spell damage by about 66%, I think, which is 2/3. Quite significant against, very good at tanking siege tank shots, as well as, of course, like Oracle damage or like Snipe as well. Snipe and EMP even, I think. It would stop your shields from taking too much damage. Very interesting. Mine drop actually going to be right up here to clear a path for these Hellions. The nullifier is there. Ooh, this is actually quite unfortunate here for Patches that the Umbra is a bit out of position. He's going to be able to get a couple worker kills, I do believe. 2 workers going down. That's actually only going to be it. Very nicely done here by Vengeance on the defense. I was expecting that to get a bunch more damage done, but the nullifier at the front putting in a lot of work there. Killing 2 mines before they could fire. And the Echoes, of course, providing detection. Medevac is going to come back home. It's going to be able to live to fight another day unless these Echoes manage to kill it. Only 2 Marines out so far here for Vengeance. If you actually moved across the map with these Umbras, Patches would be in a lot of trouble. Though Siege Tank is now out. Marine's going to shoo away these Echoes. Already has his 3rd CC done. Does Patches. And Stim just finishing up as well. Probably going to start Combat Shield after that. 4 Umbra moving up. That's quite a heavy amount of Umbras. Wonder if he's going to split them between the bases, or if he's going to try to pick off units like this tank here. Marine drop going across the map though. Definitely could one-shot this tank, and then... Would he have enough? No, okay, so he's just going to fight these Marines. Uses Stealth Compulsion. I didn't realize he had that upgrade finished up. Then immediately snaps the tank. Use Stealth Compulsion again. That does, of course, increase your DPS a lot, however that really brings your health down. Patches probably doesn't know about this upgrade or that ability. Tank on the high ground is going to siege up. If he scans, these Umbras are going to be in a lot of trouble. They're taking a lot of damage from using the Stealth Compulsion. 3 Umbras already going down. 4th picks off the tank but dies as well. Very nicely done here by Patches. And they're losing 2 tanks for 4 Umbras. This Stratus does appear to have shot down the medevac, however, 1 lowly Marine picking off 2 workers. Resources lost quite even though. Of course, the defense by both players actually been pretty good so far. 3rd Citadel coming up though, but the 3rd CC is already mining here. It's going to need to transfer some of these workers over from the natural. 6th barracks coming up here, as well as double medevac and tank production. And combat shield is finished up as well, +1/+1 finishing up in about 30 seconds. It's going to have double medevac. It's going to be able to hit with a nice push, I think. Pick up the tank. Make sure it keeps up with the rest of the army, but 4 more Umbras and a bunch of pulsars and volts here, waiting for these Marines with combat shield, though I think they're going to struggle. This Marine's quite good, but then again this Umbra attack force is going to require a lot of attention if he's going to try to clean this up. Okay, sees it, push the depots up, stims his Marine Marauder. It's going to be able to attack on the other side if he has the attention to do it. Unfortunately he's going to... Is he F2ing? Maybe he's F2ing. But Jaya available actually, that's going to be very big. Though he accidentally picks up his own units and it gets sniped down, target sniped down. Very nicely done here by Apaches. Going to be able to pick up the Citadel at the same time. Umbra's on the other side of the map though, worker surrounded. This has delayed a lot of mining time though. As long as he's able to hold his natural. The damage done by those 4 Umbras was not below 0. Though his supply block, the depot at the front getting destroyed, he's going to need to make at least 3 depots if he's going to want to get out of this. Drop in the main base. Fuses on these pulsars is going to make them a lot stronger. Yeah, he's going to need to get out of there. He's got no ghosts yet. So the rest of the army does seem to be heading back home. Checking for a base over here, but I think he might bring that home after that. No more energy left on these medevacs, so these Marines heavily stimmed. It's going to make 3 edifice here as vengeance, so yeah, it's not going to be too bad to him. Yeah, okay. Follow up. These bruised Marines and these no energy medevacs going to make the Marines so easy to clean up with these fuse pulsars. Before losing a couple... not before losing a couple of volts though. This Marine going to be able to charge its energy up, suck the life out of it to feed its mana. But he looks way too close and he just loses one for free. It's echoes coming across the map. Resources lost heavily in favour here of patches. As these Umbra have not been getting their money's worth. How many workers have been killed so far? Only Vengeance hasn't actually killed a single worker. That's very surprising. Though he's delayed a lot of mining time. Paragon here. Interesting. I must have missed the Zenith and the Imperium. Where's the Imperium? Did he get picked off? No, it's right here. Ooh, yeah, the Paragon with the long range, high damage anti-air attack is going to be very useful at sniping off these medevacs. If he doesn't, yeah, I think that's going to die. Gets picked off here. He's got a Gyre as well. Obviously he had an Imperium, he's got a Gyre. Oh well. Actually, if he's gonna, he could potentially stay in this if he's able to make an Aegis, I think. Yeah. Aegis, of course, extremely strong defensively, especially with that shield. Though once Patches gets ghosts out, if he does recognize the need for ghosts, or 4th, not able to get cancelled there as it does immediately get sniped once it starts. Vengeance is going to be able to... Ooh, massive convergence here, getting a whole ton of Marines. These pulsars here are also going to be able to feed on these Marines. The Paragon picking off those medevacs. Nicely done here. I think that is going to even up the workers, the units lost a little bit. This Gyre abducting these Marines and taking them to their deaths as the medevacs pick up with what's left. Run away. You're gonna need to run a little further than that, I think. But 13 workers do go down. Vengeance's economy is in shambles compared to that of Patches. But his army is it's too small to move out. I think you can't attack into this. No. There's orbital actually coming down on the 4th base here for patches. He's going to need a massive emissary orb if he's going to want to break this switch. Patches isn't super experienced with these races, he might not recognise the need to split against the emissary orbs. So potentially there could be some value in that, as long as he's shooting, of course. Oh. Medevacs go down nearly out as they accidentally stumble across this army. +2/+2, quite late, but finishing up in the end here for Patches. Is Vengeance only just starting +1 mechanical weapons? Bit of a lack of medevacs here. A very small army. Convergence completely misses as the Marines just stim on forward, kill that entire army. GG. Game 2 goes in favour of Patches though. It's actually quite an exciting game. Well played here for both players. But quite a blunder attacking across the map with such a small army here. He just needed to focus on getting a high attack army, I think. Dark leaves the party as it's going to need to go. We will, and hopefully with the power of editing, I will see you back here for game 3. So far the score is 1-1. Very cool to see a game 3 in a, in a Scion tournament. So, see you in game 3. Hello everyone, and welcome to the 3rd match, the rubber match I believe it's called, or is it the match point? Anyway, both players are on match point currently in this best of 3. Score is 1-1. Of course, in that second game, Patches did win against Vengeance's Chiron play with his own Terran. However, because of that, he's going to have to switch back to Genetron, whereas Vengeance, losing the last game, is able to go back, is able to now play a standard race, and he chooses Protoss. So we're going to have a Protoss versus Genetron here. I don't have too much experience with this matchup, but I figured it could turn out very, very cool, like a very interesting matchup to watch. We have a Gateway coming down here for Vengeance and a Manufacturer, slightly late here for Patches as well. Of course, I need to introduce our players. Spawning here in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity LE, playing with the green Genetron ACRs from Platinum Hero, it is Patches. And of course his opponent, as already mentioned earlier, playing Protoss with the blue probes, playing for Clan Sia. I don't know what that is or how to pronounce it. It is Vengeance. With, I believe that's Cyril spinning around there, or is that no? No, I'm not sure. It's got a really cool arc on there, has his little stamp thing down there. Maybe double gate opener, very curious. Patch is going to start up his low gun expansion though. He's going for a Spitfire. I believe he's going to start a manufacturing? No, he's going to go for an analysis terminal. Okay. Looked like he was saving up 100 gas there for a manufacturing facility, but not going to happen yet. I mean a fabricator, that's what they're called. The factory of the Genetron. Of course they have a very, very cool skin now. Of course the skin came in an update a little while ago at this point, but earlier they were essentially just using a really big Terran factory skin. But now they have like a really cool skin. It really goes well with the kind of almost like the 3D printer kind of look. Excuse me for a second. Okay, I do believe that's working back. Oops, my bad. Forgot which side was the... Anyway, we have a fight here between these Spitfires and Stalkers. Decent micro here out of Vengeance, getting one Spitfire. However, it's going to kite, but the second one's going to go down to the Repulsor eventually. Nearly ended up being a 1-for-1 trade, but ended up going quite well there for Patches, the defender's advantage coming in there. Nexus, I do believe, is finally going to go down here for Vengeance, as well as an Oracle's going to come up. And third and fourth gateway, interesting. So could potentially be seeing here some Oracle harassment to a quite a committed pressure potentially. Yep, natural expand going down now. It's very, very late though. He is actually ahead on workers compared to Patches. Good unit production. Patches cutting workers here. I do not believe that's intentional. So Vengeance is going to be able to keep his worker advantage long enough for him to then get the space and fully saturate it with more workers potentially, unless of course Patches continues to produce 2 workers at once. But Oracle is now out, flying towards the main base of Patches. There is no turret, I believe. Actually, is there any anti-air at all? No, there's no blitzers, there's no turret. This Oracle is going to actually do a lot of damage. Is Vengeance, yep, Vengeance immediately turns it on. He's going to start absolutely butchering these workers. Equalizer on the other side of the map. Gets 3 worker kills of his own. However, this Oracle's absolutely going to town. He's going to be able to continue fighting until he loses his energy. Okay, Torrent being overclocked out here currently. Vengeance flies away a bit prematurely there. He definitely could have gotten maybe even 3 more worker kills. But 9 is definitely better than the 3 worker kills here that Patches ended up getting. This means now that the delayed expansion here from Vengeance is no longer a liability, that disadvantage when it comes to the economy is to be more than made up for. Stalkers and Spitfires, tangoing them into the center of the map. It's an Equalizer and a Spitfire, but 3 Stalkers going down so far. 4th Stalker, those Spitfires though, starting to run out. Pulling back the weakened Stalker there does Vengeance, but the Spitfire manages to get it before it goes down. 2 Oracles now moving towards the natural of Patches. Torrent those in position and an Interdictor now as well. However, there's no Interdictor in the main base. Yeah, there's no workers in the main base either though. Only just gonna start resaturating it again. Oracles get shooed away. Nice pullback here by Vengeance. Not taking, well, taking a tiny bit of hull damage, I think. Yeah, just taking 10 points of hull damage. There's a plane flying in the background. Unless that's a helicopter? No, it's probably a helicopter. Helicopter. Double gas. Straight away getting saturated here on the natural base of Vengeance. Interesting choice here. Blink those finishing up. No Forge, but 5th gateway though is coming down. The Oracles in the main base. There's a Torrent here but no Interdictor, so these Oracles are going to get a couple more worker kills. Does end up losing one though for 3 worker kills. I'd say that's a fairly even trade. How many Stalkers is this? Is this 8? 9 Stalkers. Moving across the map here, there's not too many Spitfires actually anymore. Can immediately target fire down that Inciter. That's right. He's gonna need to immediately start pumping out Spitfires and Equalizers though if he's gonna want to shut it down. Or repair on the repulsor those good. Once this is in lockdown, I do believe you're gonna need to start target firing these and then before target firing the repulsor down again. Otherwise you're just shooting a building that's in lockdown mode, taking, I think it's like 66% less damage, which is a lot less damage. Of course that's not shooting while it's in that lockdown mode, but when it is in lockdown, you should be switching targets towards something else if you're in the middle of a fight. It does pick off that, aggressive blink actually, not going to blink away. Gonna be able to pick off the rest of these Inciters for only blinking 1 Stalker away. These Spitfires have a lot of damage. They also do have +1/+1 when it comes to the ground armor and light vehicle weapons. Remade a second Oracle here, did Vengeance. Workers, though, currently ahead here for patches. There's not too many in the main base, but the third base is mostly saturated. Okay, he's going to go home with the Stalkers, but send the Oracle into harass. I do like that. Torrent's currently slightly out of position, so he's going to be able to get a number of worker kills. Very nicely done. Gets a Spitfire as well. Second worker kill. Third worker kill, very nicely done by Vengeance. Interdict are going to take a couple pot shots, but not going to be able to get any kills. There's an Interdict over here though. Gonna need to be careful. Yep. Okay, flies around. Nicely done here by Vengeance. Gets 3 worker kills and a, I almost said a Hellion. That's a Spitfire. Currently resources lost, slightly in favour here of Patches. Nicely done so far. Workers killed though. 16 workers killed. However, Vengeance not producing any workers currently is going to mean that deficits when it comes to workers killed and economic damage is going to be made up for the fact that he now has a saturated third base, almost saturated third base. Prism going to go into the main as the Oracles and Stalkers, now a couple of Zealots with charge, moving towards the natural, potentially the third. Zealot warp in though in the main base. Nice choice here by Vengeance. Patch is actually floating quite a bit of resources. 2k resources in the bank. It's got to be taking down this repulsor at the front. The army here for Patch is going to be moving on towards there to defend this attack, but after the warp in the main base is already done. Nice force fields here from Vengeance. Going to be able to kill all these Spitfires. Well, not for free, but very worthwhile engagement here from Vengeance, who might even be able to kill this processing core. Of course, it's now locked down, so it's going to take a lot less damage, but I do believe it's actually going to end up going down. Mole is definitely going to be way too late to stopping this. And you can see they're in range, however, it shoots further, but you can see it actually has the same range as the siege tank. Just only single target damage, shoots faster, and is cheap. These Spitfires though, very high DPS units. They're going to be punishing these Stalkers for continuing to advance. Slight overextension here by Vengeance. Going to be sending those remaining Stalkers home, but I think that was still a worthwhile trade. Resources now very even. No upgrades here for Vengeance so far, whereas Patches +2 light vehicle weapons coming along the way. Ooh, he's overspending his energy. All his buildings currently on overclock mode, however, he doesn't have the energy for it, as you can see. He cannot maintain this production speed. Yikes. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't realise it. It's quite possible. Oh dear. Quite a number of Spitfires now out here for Patches. As Archons are now being added into the mix here for Vengeance. +1 attack finally started here for Vengeance. However, he's going to be down 2 upgrades for a while here. Accidentally attacks his own Zealot. No vision here on the left side of the map though. Imagine if Patches went in for an attack on the left side, that would be disastrous. However, they meet each other on the right side, but these Spitfires with their sheer upgrades, oh, but massive storms. Very nicely done. All of them on very low HP, but not quite enough the army here to finish them off. I like the choice of Storm here for Vengeance, but doesn't quite manage to finish off Patches there. Okay, yeah. +2 light weapons coming up here for Patches. Of course, light weapons means for the benefits all the units coming out of the manufacturer, whereas heavy weapons benefits all the units coming out of the fabricator. However, both the manufacturer and fabricator units share an armor upgrade. Similar to how the starport units and factory units share armor upgrades for the Terran. A bunch of fixes coming out, gonna help these Gonna provide storm recovery here for these Spitfires. Okay, a bunch of Templar on the Prism. Does have Prism speed actually, interesting. +2 weapons coming up here now for Vengeance. It's gonna seek to try to catch up in upgrades a little bit. Upgrades though, currently still 2 upgrades ahead here is Patches. Attack moving on towards the third base, gonna be able to kill all of these workers before Patches moves into positions. There's a lot here for Patches, gonna depend on the storms. Oh, very nicely dodged here. The Spitfires absolutely evaporate those High Templar. This army is going to be in a lot of trouble. Let's see how many Spitfires are going to be able to kill. Oh no, the Zealots on a move command accidentally, or perhaps an attack move, but target fired on a Spitfire towards the back. Vengeance here in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to cancel this 4th base. He's going to let it finish to buy himself a bit of time potentially, but I'm not going to buy him a lot of time. These Spitfires have a crazy amount of DPS. The fixes here as well are going to really help with cleaning up these Zealots. Anti-light splash damage, and their cloak charge as well, going to do a lot of damage. Mortal here comes out. It's actually not a bad fight here for Vengeance. It's about as good as it can go. However, that won't be good enough as GG is called. Just too much of an army deficit there. That's going to be the end of the best of 3. Going in favor of Patches. Very nice. We get a Chiron vs Genetron, Protoss vs Genetron, and Terran vs Chiron. Very cool series here from Vengeance and Patches going towards the 3rd game. You love to see it. Well, it's going to be end of it. That's going to be the end of this cast today. Hope to see more. Hope to see more games here, more exciting games from future players. Of course, please look out for future tournaments as well. Anyone watching this, would love to see you there as well, getting lots of cool games. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.